AITA for making my girlfriend wait to go to the The other night my girlfriend was reaching for something on a stool when she slipped and fell and injured her ankle. She was in quite a lot of pain and we both agreed she needed to go to the She asked me to drive her. Now normally of course I would be happy to drive her. However, the day before my friend had gotten me a couple of rare high ABV beers which I had consumed with dinner right before this happened. Basically I was feeling very buzzed. And definitely over the legal limit to drive. I told her as much. And said I can't drive her now, but if she gives me 23 hours to metabolize the alcohol I should be fine. She was really upset about this and tried to argue that it was only 23 miles away. Which is true. But I didn't feel comfortable driving and additionally risking a DUI. She then begged me to let her drive my car then. The problem with that is she doesn't have a license. She doesn't have much experience driving. And she isn't on my insurance. So I also didn't feel comfortable at all with her driving my car. Especially in the condition she was in. Again, I told her I can either wait until I am in a safe condition to drive. Or she can call an ambulance and get a ride that way. She didn't want to use an ambulance. Understandably. Because they're very expensive. I also suggested that she could get an Uber. But she didn't think they would take an injured passenger to the hospital. Not sure if that is true or not. Basically we ended up waiting a couple of hours and then I drove her. She didn't talk to me the entire car ride there or back and has been giving me the cold shoulder ever since. I honestly don't know what else I could have done here. NTA. The number of people and body parts I've handled because they thought it was worth taking a risk on. Drink driving. It's really not worth your life and well-being or anybody else's to take that chance. You presented sensible options. She declined them. If she's injured her ankle to a point of affecting her driving ability, she shouldn't be driving. So if she won't or can't take a taxi, and no one else is able to give a lift, and you can't afford, don't want to run the risk of paying for an ambulance. Which is an indictment on your healthcare system. Not you. Then what else was there to do but wait? NTA. First, an intoxicated person should never drive. Second, an unlicensed driver shouldn't drive. Third, even a broken ankle isn't life-threatening. The wait is highly unlikely to change the outcome. You're probably going to wait longer in the emergency room waiting area. Finally, there were options, such as Uber or a neighbor maybe. I've driven neighbors I didn't even know all that well to the hospital. Calling family even if a short distance away. Together, you could solve this. She was asking for the absolutely wrong things. For a drunk or unlicensed driver to drive what I also note was your car. Not hers. Her behavior shows you how she handles minor emergencies. Take that information on board. NTA. If you were not capable of safely driving, then she should have found another way. For the record, a lot of people use Uber to go to the They probably wouldn't take somebody who was bleeding all over the place. Or in the midst of a life-threatening emergency, such as chest pain or a stroke. But I doubt they would deny someone with an ankle injury. Absolutely 100% NTA. Thank you for not putting yourself, your girlfriend and other people in danger by getting behind the wheel under the influence. Thank you for not allowing your inexperienced girlfriend to drive your car uninsured, without a license and with an injured ankle. If your girlfriend wanted to go to the that badly, she should have let you call an Uber or she should have called one herself. She didn't talk to me the entire car ride there or back and has been giving me the cold shoulder ever since. Just enjoy the peace and quiet. She has no right to be upset at you for choosing not to put the both of you at risk for the sake of going to the hospital. NTA. You gave her several options. and rightfully ignored her suggestions of a buzzed or unlicensed plus injured driver. She didn't even let you try to get an Uber. NTA. One of you is a responsible adult and the other is not. Thank you for not risking yours, hers and any other person's lives by driving under the influence. Further, thank you for not letting an unlicensed driver do the same thing, especially injured. The only solution here to get her there faster would have been call emergency services. You did good. She can pout and be upset all she wants, but no, you are NTA. NTA for not driving drunk. That could have ended with both of you and a car full of other people being in the hospital for something much worse than an injured ankle. Uber would have taken her, though. I can imagine them balking at someone in labor or gushing blood or something. But an ankle sprain isn't going to mess up anyone's car. Hard NTA. You are buzzed. You don't drive. It was not a medical emergency, meaning life or death. She had a ton of options. Either wait, take a taxi, or call a friend, relative or neighbors to drive her. Good call on your part. NTA. Your girlfriend tried to get you to drive under the influence and you didn't. You 100% did the right thing. As far as Uber taking an injured passenger, have no idea why they would care unless she was bleeding or oozing all over their car. I drove Lyft and Uber and frequently picked up and dropped off at the hospitals. Lastly, a messed up ankle is not really an emergency. It isn't heart attack or stroke and she is breathing and getting oxygen. 2 hours isn't going to do anything. She could have gone to urgent care too. NTA. 1. Urgent care. Not This was not an emergency. Point 2. Uber. DUI or accident is not worth the rush. Again, this was not an emergency. Mixture of ice, heat, wrapping, Tylenol or ibuprofen until it is safe to travel. NTA. You made the right choice not to drive drunk. I don't see why an Uber driver would refuse to drive an injured person to a hospital, as long as they didn't have to provide assistance. NTA. It was an unfortunate coincidence that was no one's fault, yet she is blaming you for it. You were completely right not to drive while tipsy, and completely right to not let her drive without a license. Her concern regarding the Uber is unfounded. If she had no one else that could have given her a ride, waiting was the right choice. NTA. If she was that desperate, she could have called an Uber to take her to the Good on you for not drink driving, even if it was only a short distance. NTA. Why does your girlfriend have no independence? Why does she have no license? Why isn't she capable of getting an Uber? Why is she incapable of figuring out basic adulting? NTA for not driving while buzzed. But Ash for not taking 10 seconds to Google, will Uber take you to the The answer is yes. BTW. NTA. She rather risk killing you and dying in a car incident than get to the safely. And she gives you the cold shoulder for caring about both your lives? There is something mentally broken there. See her butt. Massive red flags. I'm so confused as to why she didn't want to take an Uber. NTA. Drunk driving is never okay and ambulances being expensive is a valid reason for her to say no, but she should have taken an Uber. Did she not have anyone else besides you to drive her? Friends or family? Info. After being treated, what was the injury that she was diagnosed with? NTA. I've taken Uber to the She just didn't want to spend money. NTA. I applaud your decision to not drive in that case. Letting an unlicensed, uninsured, injured person drive is almost as stupid an idea too. I would have called an Uber anyway or asked someone you know. giving her an ice pack in the meanwhile. Either of you getting arrested and/or in an accident would be a tragically avoidable situation. And your GF is being unreasonable.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.